Good evening, Australia. I wish I was here before you tonight under better circumstances. As you're all very aware, parts of the country are under siege by bushfires. This is the worst natural disaster of our nation's history, and though the main front of the fires has been contained, the damage has already been done to so many Australian families. Not just loss of homes, but of lives, of loved ones, and of memories. There are communities out there doing it tough, dealing with these impossible odds. Well, there is a bigger community that can help. That's the community of Australia. Because together, as one, we can help make this tragedy that much more bearable for the families that are suffering. Tonight is about seeing that there are people out there in need and without provocation, lending a helping hand, regardless of faith, background, or status. It is what makes this country great. We see a fellow Australian in times of crisis or hardship, and we give them everything we can spare. We are a tough, passionate nation that is not without compassion and understanding. We are a people of action, and that is what is required from each and every one of us tonight. To step up, to take action, to pick up that phone, to call the number on the screen, and to give what you can. I myself have donated $10,000 as my personal sign of support, but money is not the only way you can do your part to help manage this catastrophe. Donations of clothes, food, blankets are greatly appreciated. Simply tell the operator once you call that you are donating material goods, and they will connect you through to the emergency services in charge of distributing these much needed resources. Our volunteers are still hard at work here in the studio, answering your calls and taking your pledges. But let's, just for a moment, turn our attention to the true Australian heroes standing on the front lines. We are, of course, talking about the firemen and women who are risking their lives to battle this disaster. Let's cross over now to Eleanor Salisbury, who is on site speaking with Lieutenant Mark Jones of the Rural Firefighter Service. Are you there, Al?
Yes, here as promised, Lee. And I have with me Lieutenant Mark Jones, who's been here since day one, battling what is now considered one of the nation's worst bushfires. Lieutenant Jones, what can you tell us of the situation here at the moment?
Fortunately, we've been able to take care of a lot of the larger hotspots, but at the moment we're currently mopping up the smaller, smouldering fires in the surrounding areas.
And what of the many families who've been affected by the magnitude of this disaster?
Well, it's unfortunate this area has sustained a large amount of devastation. The outlying areas have basically been wiped off the map. But saying this on a more positive note, the word was put out a lot earlier than we were expecting, so we were able to evacuate a lot of the residents before the fire set in. Basically, this has led to us being able to bring down the casualties list, greatly.
And
if I may quickly interrupt, I had a quick question for Lieutenant Jones. How are the evacuated families coping, Lieutenant?
Well, as best as possible, considering what they've lost. At present, most people are trying to get in contact with family members, loved ones, other members of the community, just to try to find a familiar place to stay for the coming nights. The most that the rest of us can do is basically support them as much as we can.
Thanks, Lieutenant. I'll leave the rest of the questions up to you, Al.
Thank you again, Lee. Lieutenant, what can you tell us of the condition of the local wildlife?
Well, there has been a large loss of life of the fauna. Basically, we're looking at years, maybe decades, until the population comes back up to anything like it was before the fire set in.
As you can see at home, the devastation here is real and a sobering reality for too many. Any last thoughts for our viewers at home, Lieutenant?
Well, look, basically this is, you know, a devastating thing that's occurred here. No one will deny that. As a result, we're appealing to the public for their assistance, whether it may be in the form of blankets, food, clothing, anything that will help relieve the pain that these people are currently enduring. Anything that's donated will be greatly appreciated and will go a very long way.
Thank you, Lieutenant, and I think I speak for all Australians when I say that your efforts here are greatly appreciated. Back to you in the studio, Lee.
Thank you, Eleanor, and thank you to all of our firefighters for their hard work in this time of need. We understand that not all of you can donate your time, but we do ask that you pick up the phone and make the pledge so that people like Lieutenant Jones can continue their relief efforts. When we return, we'll be speaking to two of our volunteers here in the studio. Speak soon.
Guide Dogs Queensland needs our help, and it's all paws on deck. It takes 2 years and more than $30,000 to train a cute puppy into a professional guide dog. When a Queenslander is blind or vision impaired, they'll receive the dog completely free of charge. Guide Dogs Queensland needs volunteers to help raise the money to train more dogs. Please join the Paw Knock appeal today. Go to guidedogsqueensland.com.au and sign up, or call 1-800 007 460 to volunteer.
No, that's great. We'll put you down for that.
Welcome back. I'm joined by Sheldon Michaels and Jennifer James, who have spared a few moments from taking your calls to speak to yours truly.
Get over yourself, Lee.
No, seriously. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us here at our appeal here today.
No, that's okay, mate. We're just doing what we can, I guess. You know, the real thanks should go to people like Lieutenant Jones. He orchestrated the initial relief efforts.
And everyone out there who's been calling in and generously donating to the cause.
So the phone's been ringing off the hook?
Yeah, absolutely. I just in awe of how all the Australians have come together to fight the disaster as one.
How many pledges have you personally taken today?
Oh, personally, I've honestly lost track.
Yeah, I can't even count that high.
Well, you know what they say about football players and head injuries.
Yeah, make fun of the jock.
Any good donations that really stand out today?
Yeah, there was a few. One in particular, a football club has donated all their takings from the canteen from last night's game.
And I've had a young couple pledge both their paychecks for this month.
I am surprised by the level of support and generosity. Speaking of which, I hear that you two have also dug deep.
Yeah, look, we're just happy to help wherever possible.
Yeah, and it's times like these that we can actually give back to the people who supported us through our careers.
Yeah, definitely. And to add to that, I'm organising a charity game this weekend.
Oh, tell us more.
Yeah, definitely. Well, basically, I'll be getting a celebrity team together, and they'll be playing our team, with all the proceeds going to the relief effort. So, oh, actually, Jennifer here will be joining the celebrity team. So how about it, Lee? You want to go for a run?
Me and physical activity. Yeah, get out of here. Listen, I should probably let you guys get back to answering your phones. And you guys pick up those phones.
And how much would you like to donate tonight?
Imagine losing everything you own in the blink of an eye.
That is the reality faced by thousands of Australians in the wake of the worst bushfires of our time.
Throughout history, mankind has come together in times of great desperation.
You too can show support by donating to this vital cause. Just a few dollars from every Australian will go a long way in rebuilding the lives of those affected.
So dig deep and donate now.
Together, we can overcome.
Tonight is about doing what you can, because doing nothing is not an option. These days and nights of loss and sorrow we will have endured together will now be replaced by hope, generosity, and unconditional support. The path to rebuilding is long and hard, but the journey will seem faster and easier if you do not walk alone. Pick up the phone, Australia. The people are in need.